Technical difficulties and onstage freakouts were just some of the awkward moments from this year's Coachella show. Many big stars from the likes of Lana Del Rey to Grimes had some truly unforgettable moments, so let's check out some of the lowlights from this year's biggest music festival. First on our list is Nelly Furtado's injury. This one could be considered secondhand pain as well. Nelly Furtado is an icon in the music industry, and she literally left it all on the stage during her performance at Coachella. However, she had to cope with an unexpected blunder mid-performance that kind of had everyone performing on their own collective wincing. While she was in the middle of singing Eating Your Man, Nelly lost her footing on stage and hit the ground hard. It actually seemed like a pretty nasty fall, and the crowd was likely a bit shocked. But the trooper that she is, Nelly did not miss a beat. She simply got up and acted like the whole thing never happened while continuing to perform the song for her adoring fans. Following the performance, Furtado took to Instagram to share a photo of the aftermath of her fall. She managed to cut up her thumb wide open and left a nasty gash, but even that didn't seem to break her spirits. In fact, she almost treated the injury like a battle scar, and it only just made the performance that much more memorable. It was probably embarrassing in the heat of the moment, but Nelly Furtado took this one in stride. Moving on to Blur's meltdown. A weak crowd and a fiery performer are never a good mix. Coachella has always had some mixed reviews on its crowds, but this one really stung. Blur is a legendary British rock band who have been incredibly popular since the early 90s. You basically can't go to any sporting event without hearing their mainstream hit, Song 2, playing at least once. But despite their global reach and their long run of popularity, they were having a tough time firing up the crowd at Coachella. The band was giving the music festival a pretty epic 13-song set, but nothing seemed to be working. Lead singer Damon Albarn tried to get the crowd singing and chanting on numerous occasions, but they were not giving him anything in return. He tried to get them to sing along to their hit tune Boys and Girls, but even that didn't work. Albarn finally decided that he had had enough, and he absolutely lost it on the crowd in a verbal tirade. The 56-year-old singer announced that they were never going to come back to the music festival again because the crowd was just a complete buzzkill for their performance. To be fair, he definitely had a point because the crowd was very silent for the majority of their set, but maybe the younger audience just didn't even know the songs that they were listening to. Next up we have Lana Del Rey's soundcheck. Technical difficulties are every performer's worst nightmare. It doesn't seem to matter how big the show is, literally everyone can be affected by these problems at the worst possible moments. That's what happened to Lana Del Rey when she was in the middle of her massive Coachella set. Sound issues completely ruined her performance. It was so embarrassing that she actually had to get the audience to do a sound check with her in the middle of the show. On numerous occasions, Lana actually motioned for the audience to pick up the slack for her because her microphone kept cutting out. It made for a ton of awkward pauses and stuttering that completely destroyed what was supposed to be a great set. She continued to ask the crowd if they could hear her, but the whole thing just ended up turning into a big giant mess that wasn't even her fault. Hey, at least the fans technically got to sing along with one of their favorite performers, but we could all feel Lana's embarrassment throughout the set. Next up we have Grimes' technical difficulties, which was even worse. The sound team at Coachella seriously need to get their act together. Lana Del Rey was not the only person who was experiencing some untimely difficulties that completely hindered her performance. Grimes was also experiencing some dreadful malfunctions at the worst possible moments. But while Lana's problem was just a matter of the microphone cutting out and the fans could help pick up the slack, Grimes had bigger problems. She experienced a strange issue where some of her songs were playing at double the speed, and she literally could not keep up with her own lyrics. She was trying to figure out the bizarre issue, but nothing seemed to be working for her. This sadly caused her to have a massive meltdown on stage where she screamed and cursed over the whole situation. It was pretty rough to watch, but honestly, who could blame her? Coachella is a show that people work towards for their whole lives, and to see it ruined by something like this was a real shame for Grimes. Moving on to Tiana Taylor's angry interview. Well, there's getting angry on stage, and then there's getting angry before you even make it there. Tiana Taylor was giving a strange interview during the music festival where she seemingly stormed off in a fit of rage. It seems like the host had asked her a question that struck a nerve, and Taylor was very vocal with her frustration towards the interviewer. Taylor told the host that the question was messy, and then she just stood up and said that she was done. She left the interviewer in a state of shock, and as she stormed off set, said it looked like the serious situation was about to brew over. The host even stated that she was about to cry and the whole thing was just incredibly awkward. Now, thankfully it turns out that the whole situation was just a stage prank, but the secondhand embarrassment in this moment is real. At least Taylor managed to prove that she's a pretty good actress because she had everyone convinced that this indeed was a real mess. And that just about does it for our look at the Coachella 2024 moments that gave us secondhand embarrassment. Thanks as always for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you all next time.